I'm just going to do a quick video on this. There's a 2004 Ford. It's an F550 with the 6-liter. It's come in with multiple problems, one of which was an extremely plugged oil cooler. Ford gives the spec of a maximum of 8 degrees Celsius difference between the oil and coolant temperatures. And on this truck during a test drive, we saw as high as 40 degrees Celsius, which is twice of what I've ever seen on one of these trucks. So now that we've got it apart and the oil cooler out, this is what we found. The oil cooler here, and this is the inlet port. Maybe I need a better light to see in there. Let me see if I can brighten that up a bit. You can see it is totally plugged. This is the outlet side. You can see the passageways, but this is the inlet, just totally plugged, and it is hard. It's not normally what you see in these. It's kind of more of a gel type substance that's common to an oil cooler plugging issue, but this substance is quite dark in color. We dried it out. It's also not magnetic like the normal contamination that plugs up an oil cooler. And one of the other things is this truck only has about 196,000 kilometers on it. This oil cooler has been changed before. The originals actually had a bunch of divots on the top. So this failed quite rapidly, and what we suspect is some type of a stop leak product was used on this truck. And we were suspicious at first because when we actually had the degas bottle here, you can see, I know again, it is common to see large flaked pieces in the degas bottle when the coolant degrades over time and you get this built up. This is the stuff right here. It's quite hard. It's set up. It's the same substance that's inside the cooler, and it's everywhere. Let's take a look over here. Take a look inside of the lower rad hose. This is the top where it comes, attaches to the engine. And you look in the bottom, it's just full of it. And again, see, I've also got some of that substance too is on the thermostat as well. This truck ran really hot, real fast. We were seeing temperatures of 127 degrees Celsius, and once it hit 120, the actual the fan kicked in and was going full bore. This actually, the reason we got this all apart is the fan clutch speed sensor is faulty, but that's being changed as well. But this is a fairly severe issue. This is an issue. Those oil coolers are very fine components. They have very small passageways, so that product is meant to plug small passageways, like small leaks. And it's such an issue that Ford actually does make a statement about not using that in the 6.4 Power Stroke, which has a very similar oil cooler as the 6-liter. So in this case, the radiator's out. That's going to be flushed. Everything else is going to be flushed. But this is a pretty major issue where really dismantling the engine is the only way to get this all out, and pulling the heater core out and having everything flushed separately. So this is actually what's in the cooler itself. We've dried it off and it's in a powder form now. Now the common contaminants that plug up an oil cooler on a 6-liter is magnetic, and this substance is not. And again, this is a harder piece out of the degas bottle. Again, it's quite gritty when you feel it, but definitely a big warning. If you do have a leak, I'm not going to say 100% or if it was a specific brand, but it's not a good idea to be putting that inside of this engine, because it can do some serious damage. Also, the EGR cooler is going to be plugged with this as well. Quite a catastrophic event here.